Yeah, guys, let's talk about the ongoing transfers and you know, clubs have started their business. It's Man City, Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, and various clubs. They kind of bringing in new bodies into their the team. This is a rebuilding process against next season, and most teams are trying to bring in new players before the beginning of the preseasons. That's set to start in the coming days. So I'm going to talk about Arsenal now because now we've had a situation where we've been on the heels of the the likes of Victor Gyökeres and Benjamin Sesko. And the thing here is that there's been some also of kind of dramas going on from the club, from the selling clubs, because they want so much money, and these days players are being kind of like too over like priced, and most clubs are into price gouging, trying to like make the maximum from any players they want to like sell. But like as it is right now, we have like Martin Zubamendi from Real Sociedad. He's already down. Like in terms of like, oh, he's on a standby. We just need to the paperwork, and so he's signed because already that is a done deal. And you have Christian Nogert from Brentford that is coming to Arsenal, and I think that's a done deal to an extent. Then you have Kepa Arrizabalaga, the goalkeeper that is coming in. If you all remember, at one point in time, this is the goalkeeper that Chelsea bought some season ago for about 75 million. But you know what? It didn't really work out. He's been on several loans and all that, but he was in Brentford last season, and he did very well as a backup keeper. So this time around, he's Arsenal have acquired him just for 5 million. It's good. A player a keeper of that who played all through and did very well last season. Now in why he's coming in as and the keeper, as a backup keeper for 5 million is a very good deal. And there's been this rumor about Eketike, because the desperate search for striker by Arsenal is so overwhelming, and it's just all over the place for now. So there's always target. Now we have also Eberechi Eze. Eberechi Eze is one player who helped Crystal Palace, to win the FA Cup last season. The season that was just concluded. He's a very good player. He's very good on both feet, and he's a player who's very good from the left. He plays from the left side, and he could also play like somebody who could like deputize for Martin Odegaard in case he's injured. So it's one player that Arsenal is looking on to, but somehow I think he too really want to come to Arsenal because this is the boy who was he was a young player in Arsenal, but he was released as usual at the age of 13, in tears. But somehow now we want him again, after so many years that he's been able to be established himself in another team. Another player is Ademola Lookman. Ademola Lookman is another player who plays for Atlanta. He's of Nigerian, what they call a heritage, British born. He's a player that Arsenal is also looking up to. And there's one thing now that is really, really kind of very disturbing, because somehow, the way clubs kind of try to price gouge, it's really, very, very painful, because if you look at Semenya, that, and you can imagine Semenya, Anton Samaya, like of Beaumont for 70 million. That's a joke. How you gonna sell Semenya for 70 million? But you know what? That is what is going on right now, because clubs just really want to they're making things so easy. It's so difficult for clubs who want to buy a player that maybe ordinarily should be more than like 30 to 40 million. They jack the price up there, and it's really slowing things down. It's making things so difficult for clubs who are very intentional in trying to get players into their team. And you see, it's a very big thing. It's a very, very serious situation that I believe that, or I want a situation where maybe like UEFA or even FIFA has to look into this thing, because a time is going to come that a player will be sold for $1 billion or £1 billion or €1 billion, because the time like that is going to come. But sometimes this player, do they really truly worth that amount? Sometimes I remember Arsene Wenger saying that, oh, there's no player that is 100 million pounds or €100 million that's going to play you 100 million football. It's not possible. But somehow I don't know how they do this math, or they put these things together. It's outrageous and it's scandalous. So let's see how things pans out in the coming days, in various clubs, because we know Liverpool, they're doing their own business. Man City, they're doing their own business. They just got kicked out of their FIFA Club World Cup just a few minutes ago. Chelsea, they're doing their business as well. And, Arsenal, they're doing their own business. So Tottenham, they're not there. They're not here, not there, because they're in a very precarious situation, because there seems to be some kind of exodus of players out of Tottenham. And I don't think they're gonna, because traditionally Daniel Levy doesn't spend much on players, and let's see, and there's a way, their wages is being pegged at one point. So you can't see players that ends. I'm not sure there's any player in Tottenham that end up to 200,000 what do you call it, pounds per week. I'm not sure. Maybe something far below that, the highest earner in that club. So it's a very very maybe a prudence of a good situation, but somehow it doesn't really help, because some players, this guy, they really want to make the money. They want to make the money. So let's see how it pans out and in the coming days in terms of the transfers.